Can you be too old to use the internet? Should you past a certain age just leave social media alone? You probably heard by now that AI Brad Pitt stole a lot of money from a French woman.
De última hora, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt falso.
Y Brad le dice
30.000 de euros.
Photos of Brad Pitt saying, I'm in the hospital.
Low IQ individual to think that Brad Pitt.
Beginning, I didn't think it was real. The more and more I heard people talking about it, I kind of got interested. So I just watched a full French interview to what happened to this poor woman. And I thought I'd share what I think about it, share the facts, because I am French and I've seen some headlines that are not accurate. So it started in 2023. Madame Anne, 53 years old, recently divorced. Contrary to what some headlines were saying, she divorced her millionaire husband for fake AI Brad Pitt, which is not true. She was divorced before. And like a lot of people, she opened an Instagram account and she ended up liking a Brad Pitt picture, which, I mean, we're all guilty of. He's a handsome man. But that's where it all started. Not too long after, she received a message from someone saying that they were Brad Pitt's mom. Brad Pitt's mom? How do you say the Brad's mom? And for months, she was just having a discussion with who she thought was Bradley's mom. Nothing else was happening. There was just chit-chatting. It's strange that such a high-profile superstar's mother would just start talking to random people on Instagram in the DMs, but we go back to, this is the first time in her life she opens that, and it's opening a new whole world for her, right? So I guess she didn't make much of it. I can understand that. Which at some point, the mother told Anne that she would like to introduce her to her son because they'd be great together. And as I was looking in that story, they were saying that 80% of these scams are actually targeted to 50-plus-year-old women. And hopefully for the scammer, this woman is lonely. She doesn't really know how social media works. At that point, the fake Brad Pitt takes over. She says that at the beginning, he acts really uninterested and he's just there because his mother told him to go chat with this awesome woman that she met. They try to hook you to make you believe that it's not gonna be possible, but then they make you believe that, you know what, it could happen. So the timeline is not clear, but at some point the flirting starts back and forth. You know, if you look at the text, William Bradley Pitt, that's his full real name. What are you planning to do today, baby? Baby, are you there? I love you so much. You don't start chatting like this with someone within 2 weeks. So this had to go on for a long time before it gets to that point. Anyway, at some point, William Bradley Pitt started asking Anne for money, supposedly to pay for hospital bills. And the reason why he was asking for this money is because his account were frozen because he was in that divorce with Angelina Jolie. And obviously, he was promising to pay her back. The amount of characters these scammers were playing, it's quite incredible actually. Take a look at this. 2 fake FBI agents, 2 doctors, the 2 daughters, the mother, spokesperson, and his double. Why would his double speak with you? That's the interesting part. Every time she was doubtful of it and she would mention anything to Brad on Instagram, somehow there was a new character coming in to confirm that in fact, it was the real Brad Pitt that she was talking to. And she also said that like this FBI agent reached out to her and said, no, this is the real Brad Pitt. And she asked for identification, got a picture, photo ID, so she was convinced by that. It would have made me even more suspicious if I would have all these different characters coming in to tell me, no, you're really talking to William Bradley Pitt. Don't worry, just send money blindly. And you know, unfortunately, that was enough to convince her. And she started sending the money for a total of $830,000 US. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. And she sent that in 13 transfers. Obviously, we're gonna do that now. Been a little more prepared, I agree. So 800,000 divided by 13. $63,846.15. 13 times. I mean, she had to be really infatuated to send him that kind of money. It's just fucking crazy. I'm not gonna take a piss at this woman because Clearly, she had something going on in her life. She was really vulnerable at that moment. They really, really hit the jackpot with her. So making fun of her, I feel that it's pointlessly mean. Pointlessly mean? I don't know if that's a good, but that's what I'll use. It's not nice. Don't make fun of her. But then again, these are the pictures that they used to trick her. It doesn't even look like the same Brad Pitt. It's all like different ages and it's always at the hospital. It just looks like he's taking a shit. Ivy picture. Can't be anyone. This one's one of the best. Look at this thing. He's in surgery. Your head is not going to be like this if you're in surgery. You're going to be completely lying down. And who took the picture? One of the doctor or one of the nurse to take a picture, maybe? She did mention that she was questioning that picture specifically. And she got actually an email by a doctor confirming that surgery picture was real. If you look at this one, looks like he has a part of his head missing. They just like slapped a face on someone else's body. Brad Pitt has a much better hairline than this guy.
Buongiorno.
So obviously at some point she says it was enough. She was seeing her bank account go down and there was no sign that they were going to meet anytime soon. So she said, it's enough. I'm not sending you any more money. But she was really invested, in the real sense of it, she was really invested in that relationship. So a doctor sent her a picture of him in the hospital saying that he tried to off himself by eating a bunch of pills because she didn't want to send any more money. And unfortunately, that was enough to make her feel bad to send what Brad was asking for. So by the end of the interview, she was saying that June 2024, they were supposed to meet. It was supposed to take a private jet and go meet her at Maurice Island where she resides. But of course, that didn't go as planned. She got a message from Brad saying that he needed 15,000 euros because his assistant didn't pay for private jet taxes and he needed medication. And that's when she said, I'm done. I think I'm being taken for a fool. I believe someone is pulling my leg. After a year. I mean, it's good that she woke up. Unfortunately, she woke up a little late because, she's broke now. And then she gets that video.
Brad Pitt sets the record straight on relationship rumors. According to Mr. Brad Pitt, he is in an exclusive and loving relationship with one special individual who holds an exceptional place in their heart, who goes by the name of ANN.
It's obvious if you look at the face that this was made with a computer. People are saying that she was fooled by this video, which in fact she wasn't. That's the last video they sent her, and that video confirmed that she was being taken advantage from. At some point in the interview, they were trying to blame the banks and social media platforms because she was saying that she went to the bank with a photocopy of Brad Pitt's passport with an account number and they just transferred the money to where she was asking for the money to be transferred. And they never asked any questions. And her lawyer is trying to blame the bank as well. So to what extent the bank has responsibility? If transfers are made by phone, computer, yes, this should raise a red flag, of course, because, you want to make sure that it's you sending the money. But other than that, if you go to the bank and you're there physically, why would they question what you're doing? Elderly people, they will. But this is not an elderly woman. She's 53 years old. It's not like she did crypto transfer or anything like that. She went physically to the bank. I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think. To what extent the social media companies are accountable for this kind of scams? Nobody's forcing no one to answer those messages. I get messages every day about scams, like whether it's luxury goods or watches, whatever I'm interested in that I like pictures, or I do that, I'll get messages from scammers. I just delete them. I don't answer. Nobody forces you to interact with those people, to give them personal information. Also, I went in the comments and they were saying that the Brad Pitt, the real Brad Pitt, should pay her back the money, that he wouldn't even feel the pain of losing almost $1 million. But I think this is completely stupid. Little did I know, there's a lot of scams like this. So imagine if everybody had to pay back people that got scammed by the fake of that person. Am I making sense here? It's not because you're filthy rich that it's your responsibility to pay back that person. So unfortunately, she went into a big depression by losing a lot of money like this, but also she became an international meme. But at that point, I think you should just leave computers alone. Stop watching the news about you. And you would think that this is a rare occurrence, but it seems that a lot of people get scammed by fake superstars like this. They just choose not to talk about it because they're feeling ashamed. They don't want people to laugh at them. Yeah, I guess they were right about that. Unfortunately, she admitted in an interview that she tried to off herself 3 times because she is being so bullied and she is so depressed. There's a little bit of a silver lining in this. A hacker offered his service to try to track the people that did this to her. And they traced it back to a house, an address, and 3 people that are known to do these scams. Getting back the money is another story because it's in Nigeria, but at least there's some progress, a slight chance that these people could be taken to justice. To answer the question, can you be too old to use social media or to use the internet? I don't think so. I think it's pretty cool to have older people trying to understand new technology and trying to be relevant in this sphere. Even if you're not interested in it, you should always stay in touch a little bit with technology so you're a little aware of that kind of stuff. And also, if you're in a position that you could teach an older person to actually make sure they don't get scammed like this, to think that the William Bradley Pitt is broke. Use a little more critical thinking.
Critical thinking, I fucking love it.
If a superstar reach out to you for money, that's not, Thank you so much for watching. I wish you well. Like, sub, share if you haven't done so yet.